Itemization, one of the most important parts of any Risk of Rain game. But what if we just threw all that shit out the window and decided, hey, let's get them all? Kind of like Ash Ketchum if instead of collecting Pokemon, murdered them for their loot. Oh wow, what's this? Who's this? What? Stream? Go follow? Wow, it's been a while, chat. How's it going? Playing a little Bandit today. Okay, I was feeling kind of frisky. And also, out of the survivors, I felt like Bandit was one of the few that I hadn't played a lot, and I ranked pretty low on my little tier list that I created and posted on YouTube the other time. But there were so many people telling me, oh no, the Bandit's great, Bandit's amazing, oh, Bandit S tier. So here I am, okay? Suckered into this game. There's a lot riding on this game. Everybody out there who's a Bandit main. If I don't win this one, he's going to F tier, okay? He's going right next to Artie. You know, the red whip in this game is actually kind of goated. I'm pretty sure as long as you don't get hit, the red whip is still effective. At least in Risk of Rain Returns. And you know, items are kind of harder to come by in this game. You don't really get as much move speed as you usually do. I don't know why. It feels like every time I get an item, I'm happy, even if it's like head stompers. Okay, so we're basically set. We got the skates. These little thingies are broken AF. It's like a red whip, but it's always active as long as the teleporter is activated. You get like 2 of these, and I think that's all the movement speed you need for the rest of the game. You might be surprised to see me hit the teleporter this early. No, I have not been cloned and replaced by an evil version of myself. The great thing about Risk of Rain Returns and the first Risk of Rain was that even if you activate the teleporter, you can still hit all the chests, and you still charge the teleporter while you're wandering around aimlessly throughout the map. The only bad thing about this, honestly, is that you're always charging the teleporter, so if you ever decide, oh shit, I don't have enough money to get this next chest, you can't really step outside of the teleporter like you could in Risk of Rain 2. That's like the one downside. Otherwise, you just Mario hop your little ass over to the teleporter, activate it, and then go farm the rest of the map. All right, let's do some quick looting real quick. I don't know what it is about shrines in this game, but I swear these things have like a 1% chance. God, look what I could have got if I had no wasted my money on that Shrine of Chance. Damp Caverns? Didn't know I was playing your If you're wondering why several minutes just passed, it's because the previous 3 minutes were just me laughing at that joke. Another thing I will say about Risk of Rain Return is how fucking massive these maps are, man. I feel like I need to commission a cartographer to be able to figure out how to traverse these things. I'm like Christopher Columbus if he wasn't stupid as fuck and ended up on the wrong continent. I'm like Lewis and Clark with no Sacagawea. What I'm trying to say is I need a Native American baddie to strap me into her papoose and lead me around, okay? Anyway, let me stay on theme and let me shoot some more wildlife. If you're wondering, yes, this is like 99% of Risk of Rain Returns. Dipping, dodging, ducking, diving. All the while, enemies are spawning left and right. The magma worm is still going after you the whole time. Not really sure what happened here. Is there invulnerability when you're climbing a rope or something? What? Why did I not take damage? Also, what just happened there? Why did it lose like a quarter of its HP? I didn't do anything. Bro, magma worms are literally dying to nothing over here. I don't know what's going on here. All right, looted my little heart out. Time to get the fuck out. God, I hate platformers. Sunken tombs? More like Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry right now. Okay, this damage does not bode well. Let's hope it picks up from here. Did you guys know that these goofy-ass shell things are called whorls? Whorls? Honestly, they do kind of pack a punch. I don't really expect them to because they look so goofy. Looking like the fossil Pokemon that you don't choose. Because, you know, the other one's just like a brown Scyther. And Scyther is a badass. And the other evolution looks like the least practical fleshlight. So I think the choice was obvious. TLDL, why the fuck are they named Whorls? Ooh, Colossus. Now you guys can see the best cheese in the game. Which is essentially... you just have the stone colossus spawn across a chasm or somewhere that they just can't walk vertically. In this case, horizontally, but still the same. And then you just shoot at them for like 90 seconds and you win the stage. It's Hopu's way of giving you a little bit of a breather before they send blighted, overloading, teleporting, clay ninja that one-shot you. Thank you, Hopu. Thumbs up on that. Oh shit, the Prophet's Cape. This item is unironically some of the only ways you can play Risk of Rain Returns like in loops. It's one-shot protection on crack. 3 seconds of literal invulnerability, and even then, I'm still probably gonna die. Honest to God, I hate this map. I'm dipping out immediately. Just a couple of chill simpy impies. Okay, I'm about to die. I am now about to spend the next 82 seconds avoiding the boss fight. Bro, I have no idea what the hitboxes in this game are. How did I make it out of there without getting hit? Whoa. Alright, now that the trash has been dealt with, let's actually finish the teleporter. Actually, another fun thing about Risk of Rain Returns is that almost every boss fight can be just like Mithrix on Eclipse, whatever level gives you extra fall damage. Like half of these enemies could be killed just by consistently knocking them off cliffs. If we're lucky and we make it to stage, is it 4 or 5? I can't remember. Whatever the next stage is right before Providence, half the time you could just knock the enemy off the map entirely and they just die. Sadly, unlike in Risk of Rain 2, the item is actually connected to the boss itself, so you lose the item, but you do get to complete the teleporter without having to do anything. Pro tip. Okay, honestly, not a bad stage. We're up pretty big. We got a supermassive leech. It's a lot of healing. Let's go. Okay, this is not the teleporter that I was hoping for, but whatever. Let's do a little casual looting while we wait for the 80th Zapdos to spawn. Really keeping up with the Pokemon theme. Since I have time to spare, I'd really like to apologize to that mollusk I called the Fleshlight. That was a little over the line. Even though it is a fantastical creature, and cephalopods are really asking for it, it still weighs on my conscience. Speaking of, Jiminy, that's a good item. So forewarning, looping in this game kinda sucks. It's not like Risk of Rain 2, where Stage 6 is just slightly harder than Stage 5 with a few more elites thrown in. The step up in difficulty is like going from a handicap-accessible ramp to climbing the Great Pyramids of Egypt like you're Rocky, from the movie Rocky. I mean, the teleporter boss for this stage is like 6 scavengers. And even if I had full invincibility, full God mode on, it would still take me over 90 seconds just to kill them while holding down my M1, taping it down and looking away. And for this stage, seeing as how difficult it will be, I'm going to employ the age-old strat of running away like a scared child. I really wish they would put even the tiniest, the measliest percentage execute on the Bandit's Desperado. I can't remember what it's called. The problem is it does like 200 damage even when I have the little drug thing on me, which means I need to like shoot jellyfish with the tiniest amount of damage without killing them with my primary, just so I can hopefully get them down to like 200 HP and get the guaranteed hit from my standoff, I think might be what it's called. I'm not asking for a lot here, okay? The Drifter gets a 20% execute on their shift. Give me 1% and I'd probably be happy with that, honestly. This little baby 200 damage, it ain't gonna do it. That's not very special. I will say though, this boxing gloves shooting things off of your screen and still doing damage, that's a viable strat. That's a bandit tech I haven't heard about. I wish maybe this freeloading imp would do something other than, you know, stand around me looking like a Goomba. I'm sure there's a Pokemon reference I could have made there, but I didn't. Well, that stage wasn't that bad. It only took me like 10 minutes. That's about the average time I think you should take per stage. Okay, we're not doing this. We are not doing this one. Nope. Oh, good lord. Is this what I think it is? Boar Beach? This unironically saved the run. There's no way I was killing those blighted claymen. There was a little foreshadowing earlier, I suppose. Okay, listen, chat. What I'm about to do, I'm not proud of, but avert your eyes because it is very naughty, very lewd, and I don't want you to sully your innocence. Also, nobody tell PETA I kind of stole this boar's jacket. It's kind of fucked up. All right, after a few minutes, just a couple of farming here, I think we're finally ready to go back out into the real world. Pay no attention to the corpses stacked upon each other. There we go. Now this is a little bit more my style. Okay. Probably that Fruit of the Loom t-shirt I stole from the boar. I think that's what's doing all the damage right now. Okay, we might have broken the game. Oh, it's the teleporter placement I was telling you about. Look, chat, look. If you try to push them off here, you can do it. I'm not going to do that. Okay, never mind. They're choosing to jump off the ledge voluntarily? Alexa, play Third Eye Blind. After I made that joke, I had to immediately tell my Bezos machine to stop. Okay, there went the second one. Is this what happened when you ignored your Tamagotchis? Oh, did you think we were going to Providence now? Who do you think you're watching right now? Something, something, I am the one who knocks now. Honestly, it's kind of weird how long it takes for me to kill them still. Sure, they can't move, attack, or do any damage to me, but still, why don't their HP go down quick? I'm actually curious, can the enemies eventually outscale you? I know in Risk of Rain 2, there's almost no way for them to outscale you. I think enemies just have a certain cap at their damage and health numbers. But I wonder if it's the same in Risk of Rain Returns. It's definitely a lot harder, and I don't even think you're supposed to loot. So let's see how far we can take this. Now, this isn't my first God run in Risk of Rain Returns. I've had quite a few, actually, because that's mostly what I tried to do. Going to Providence is kind of inarguably easier than looping, especially on certain survivors. Certain survivors, I don't even think you can loop on if you don't get proper RNG. The thing is, even if you get invulnerability, for some reason, there is some damage type that goes through it. I don't know what it is. I can't tell if it's overloading, if it's just blighted has some different kind of type, or if there's another damage type that I'm just not aware of. But every now and then, when you're in the middle of enemies and you're full invulnerable, I'm talking full invulnerability. You have the cape, you have the equipment thing that does the invulnerability, you have anything that gives you invulnerable, sometimes you will still take damage. Which is why you need to like max out your infusion, so even when you do eventually take that damage, it's not going to kill you. Which is one of the reasons why infusion is one of the best items in the game. Might actually be the best item in the game. So far, I have not been hit while invulnerable, I don't think. So maybe they patched it before I played again? I don't know. Oh shit, okay. Blighted parents are actually pretty scary. Okay, and as was foretold in the prophecy, I lost over 2,000 HP. I don't think I had invulnerability there though. That was just kind of me AFKing in a corner because I think I'm not gonna die. Good limit test though. We are mortal, we do bleed. Oh shit, it's the imp thing. So this thing right here, it summons imps for you to fight. And normally these imps are like stupid strong. Look where it's placed. And there we go, we get 2 free reds. Which, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, these always drop you 2 reds, and they're always tied to the imp summoning thing. So you can knock them off ledges, off of the stages, whatever you want to do with them. They don't actually have the items. Pro tip for like the 1% of you out there that's going to loop enough to see this. Now you might be asking yourself, why the hell are you still looping? Well, for 2 reasons, actually. And one third one that we've already completed. Okay, for one, my God run rule is that I have to get max HP before I can consider it a true God run. A run where truly the only end in sight is me wanting to leave the game. But we've already passed that, so we don't really need to do that anymore. Second, I want to see if eventually something can outscale me. Some of those imps were kind of tough. Who knows? Maybe they can beat me eventually. And third, realistically, I'm trying to get every single item in the game this run. I've done it once before on Acrid, but I didn't record that one. So this is my true magnum opus. All right, several years later, I only need the turtle shell and I think the fireman's boots and then the code thing, the launch code thingy. So right now I'm farming turtles until they inevitably drop their luxurious shell on the ground. Alright, I literally went AFK waiting for everything to spawn so I could kill it all at once, and there you go, I got 2. So obviously, the imps don't really scale with you. At a certain point, you do actually just get too strong for the creatures to catch up. And there it is, the last item on the docket, the last thing we needed. There's only one thing left to do, I suppose. Head to Providence. Okay, I forgot that you could just go to Providence anytime you wanted instead of having to go to stage 4 again. But hey, who's gonna say no to more items, you know? Also, because I have so many bottled chaoses and I have such a low cooldown on my amethyst, I am actually spawning like 2 chests at a time, and then every now and then I'll get the skeleton key from the bottled chaos and it'll open them all. So that's pretty cool. And so it begins, the last battle to decide all of, I forget, Petrichor. Yeah, Petrichor. The planet of Petrichor's fate. Oh, I accidentally spammed my amethyst. Now the 2 worms are like stuck in time off the map, so I can't hit them. Alright, gotta stop pressing that button then. Providence? More like Prava Thin. So, as you might expect, Providence is a lot tankier than Mithrix would be, which just seems to be a common theme in Risk of Rain Returns, everything being slightly more tanky, or I guess not slightly more tanky, maybe you do less damage, I'm not sure, but it takes longer to kill the enemies than it does in Risk of Rain 2. I guess if I wanted to tie a real nice bow on this whole thing, all I really gotta say is Professor Oak was definitely piping Ash Ketchum's mom. I don't know how he never caught on.